CJ.
And I'm Robin.
Welcome to the Cozy Kitchen.
Come and make yourself comfortable here with us by the fire.
Let's chat about baking, friendship, and cozy hobbies. If there's time and enough tea, maybe we'll even unravel some fun backstories.
I mean, there should always be enough tea. Hi there, CJ. How you doing?
Hi, Robin. I am doing all right. How are you?
You know what? I am okay. This has been a rough week. Work has been crazy. My mom had to have a minor surgery, but a surgery somewhat recently. Everything's fine though. It's all good, but it's just been a little bit of a rough week on my end. And I wanted to talk today about how we use baking as a source of comfort, specifically how we use it to comfort ourselves. We've talked before about how we will bake foods for other people, and we love doing that. But I wanted today to talk about some comfort bakes. What are some baked goods that evoke a sense of soothing and comfort for you? Is there a nostalgia factor in there at all? I want to talk about if there's been a time recently when you have baked to self soothe, I guess, and just kind of talk a little bit about, some times that are not always exciting and fun and how we use baking as a way to cope with all of that. So I would love to start off by just asking you, whenever you think of comfort baking, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
I think of cookies.
Mm,
Uh,
mhm,
I it, it, and it's not like something that I would do in particular. I just think of like a nice lady, maybe a grandma, baking cookies, and then you know their her children or grandchildren are there, and maybe the little boy scrapes his knee and have a cookie. So that's like the image that I have. um so you mentioned that you had a rough week, and I am curious if you have done any baking to soothe yourself or you have plans for it.
You know what? I do have plans for it. So I have not baked anything very comforting lately. It was my partner's birthday the other day, so I did make a peach cobbler for him, but I overfilled the pan and I would not call that a comfort bake because the oven started smoking. That is a story for another day. But yeah, I do have some plans to do some comfort baking today. Like I said, this past week has just been rough, and it was one of those weeks where it felt like there were just never enough hours in a day. The number of things that I had to do it was insane how filled my days were.
Mhm.
And so what I want to plan is very purposefully just have a day where I don't have to rush myself. I can take my time to measure everything out. I can
Mhm.
go at a very leisurely pace and just enjoy baking without any sense of feeling rushed.
Mhm.
And so that's my goal for today is
Mhm.
to find a bake that allows me to do that. And preferably it would not be a very complex bake. I'm not looking to make croissants or macaroons or anything like that. So,
Disappointments.
yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no thank you. I think it's yeah, just something simple. So if you have any ideas for a nice, simple, but also like not an everyday kind of bake, because I bake cookies all the time. Um,
Mm.
I would love to get your thoughts, maybe some kind of a cake. I could do some kind of a like a crumble of some sort. Cinnamon
Mm.
rolls would definitely be on the table. I have active dry yeast and I have
Mhm.
flour,
Mhm.
so um, yeah. And I wanna see, like, have you done comfort baking in the past? Has there been a time when you have delved into your many baking cookbooks and just wanted to make something that was comforting. And the nuance that I want to talk about here is this would be something that was just for you. Because we've talked before about how we bake for other people all the time. Have you ever baked something that you did purely out of comfort, purely just something that you would enjoy?
Yes, I have, and I have done it recently. What's really interesting when you were talking about your plan to bake today and it's comfort baking is uh you are open to ideas of what to bake. Like you have already decided you're going to bake, but you haven't decided what you're going to bake.
Yes.
Um, which is very interesting because it's different from the way I plan any bakes and even bakes for myself. And as you said, baking for me at least mostly is baking for someone else. I mean, it's for me too, but it's never just for me. It's very rare when it's just for me. But I did bake recently just for me. In fact, I was inspired by you when you sent me the brownie recipe that was just made of almond flour. I was like, oh my
Yes.
God. So I am currently just alone right now. My partner's away, and so I'm in an empty house, and I don't really think about like cooking or baking for myself very often. I just raid the fridge, grab out frozen veggies, and put it in the microwave. That's my like, food source.
Yeah, got a lot of good vitamins and minerals and all that, but not a lot of pop and circumstance.
Yeah, exactly. So but when you sent me that recipe, I read it and I was like, "Oh, this is really easy. I wanna try it." 'Cause you said you made it a ton of times, and I was like, "Oh, it must be a good recipe."
Yeah, yeah.
So so I did make it. It was amazing. It was delicious. It
Yay.
wasn't a perfect bake. I had some baking powder that I had never used before, like, it was new to me, and so, the amount I put in was actually more than the recipe needed, or at least the power of it was stronger, maybe. It was German, actually, so I don't know what that
Oh,
says. But
that's fascinating. I was gonna ask, like, what brand is this? Like, who is she?
so I it is actually a bag I got a long time ago. Like, I was actually in Austria at the time, and it's so funny. The packaging had, like, gingerbread cookies on it, and I thought so it's all in German, and I thought this package was the spices to make that type of cookie.
Oh,
Then I
no.
get home, translate it, and it's like, "Nope, this is baking powder."
Oh, no. But it's
Uh,
like that's an easy assumption to make, though, because if you're just going by the picture, of course, that's what should be in there.
yeah, exactly, and so I had been holding on to this thing for, like, many years, and so I decided, "Okay, I need to use this thing up." So I used it for the brownies, and, um,
How big of a
they
bag is it?
it's not big, it's tiny, it's like
Oh,
a
okay. Like a
it's
little
flat,
packet kinda.
like a gravy packet.
Gotcha, okay. I'm actually shocked that it lasted that long. That's
Mhm.
amazing that it was powerful enough that it ended up still being too powerful for this recipe.
Yeah,
That's some good
yeah.
quality stuff.
I think of I don't really think of expiration dates on, like, baking soda or baking powder. I mean, unless it's reacting to something in the air or something, it seems like just a chemical to me, and if it hasn't reacted to anything, then it should be good. I mean, that's my assumption.
I don't
Um,
know. I was always taught to check the expiration date, but you might be right in that if it's sealed up and if it's airtight, then maybe you don't have to worry about it. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. We'll have to do another scientific
yeah.
episode about expiration dates.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so it turned out fine. I mean, that thing was
Nice.
old. Um,
Yeah, that's awesome though. Well, I guess not awesome because it was too much for the bake that you were doing, but
Yeah, yeah, it was too much, and then I did have so it rose very quickly, way more than it should've, and then it sunk back down where it should have been, and, I mean, it turned out just the way you described it, fudgy, chewy, the way a brownie should be.
Yes. Oh, yeah, and that's yes, I'm very much team fudgy for brownies. I know people like cakey brownies. If I want cake, I'll have cake.
Yes, same here,
Mhm,
and so I had that for myself, like, it was just purely for my own enjoyment,
mhm.
and Uh, I don't know about you, but is it the process of baking? Like you said earlier, you were saying how you just want to take your time with it and just enjoy it. Like, is that the goal for you? Like, is that like that experience of just like it's almost meditative, or is the product what you're going for? Because, like, for me, the brownies was the end goal. I
Mhm.
wanted brownies. The process of getting there, I had to get over the hump of, "Oh, I'm doing this for myself?"
Yeah,
Like,
and
what a
that's
waste
hard.
of
It's
time.
very hard to do whenever you're used to doing things for other people all the time and you're not used to taking that time for yourself. It's very hard to get over that or overcome that mindset of like, oh, I'm allowed to do this just for me. And I'm allowed to make it exactly as nice as I would make it if I were making it for somebody else. Because usually my thing is like, oh, I'm making this for myself, so it's okay if I mess it up. It's okay if it doesn't turn out nice. It's okay if it's not pretty. But it's so important to every once in a while, don't have to do this constantly. I do think that it's important to treat yourself with that same kind of love that you would give to somebody else, you know? So it feels more special to me, I suppose.
Mhm.
I think for me, it's definitely more about the process. I'm going to pull a Brandon Sanderson quote, but it's journey before destination.
Mhm.
I think it's the act of baking and sifting in the flour with the leavening, the act of rolling out the dough or mixing that sunny smear of egg yolk in with the creamed up butter and sugar, smelling that vanilla as it goes into the bowl. And
Mhm.
actually, I don't know if anybody else does this. If I end up getting any vanilla on my fingers, I will dab a little bit behind my ears so that I can smell it a little better.
Oh my god, I love that.
It's only if it gets like I'm not like dabbing it like cologne or whatever. Um, that is the thing that I just I don't know. It's nice and it smells good, and I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I want to sometimes you want to
Oh,
smell like vanilla.
that's
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, so it's very much a meditative thing for me, and it really then transforms it from this mindset that I've had of go, 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 you have to do things as fast as possible, as well as you possibly can,
Mhm.
into take your time with it, enjoy this process. Because that I think is also part of the comfort is not having to be rushed, being able to just take your time with something and breathe in the process. That to me is very much a comfort.
Mhm.
And it shouldn't feel like a luxury, but it does.
Mhm.
So yeah, I very much enjoy that part of it. And again, I am kind of torn because on the one hand, I do want to make something that looks really nice and it tastes really nice, but because I'm making it for myself, the pressure is also off, so it's like if something does happen where it doesn't look as good, I don't want the comfort that I feel over making the bake to be overshadowed by the disappointment that I might feel that it
Mhm.
didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's
So,
delightful.
one question there, like, let's say you baked cupcakes for
Mhm,
yourself and you enjoyed the process of sifting the flour, creaming the butter, all of that, and you have the product now. If that product just suddenly disappeared,
mhm.
would you still enjoy it?
That is a wonderful question, and it's really getting the gears going. I feel like if I worked really hard and enjoyed and even if I still enjoyed the process of it, and the cupcake that I so beautifully decorated was no longer there, I would be pissed. I would be like, "Come on."
Okay,
Because
let's put it
that's
that way.
the other half of it, right?
It
Is
still exists, but you can't eat it.
oh, okay, so it's still there, but I'm not gonna
Mhm.
no, I think I would still wanna eat it. So, it's journey before destination, not journey other than destination. Yeah, no, eating it is still that's still part of the comfort.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I
And
see.
it's almost like let me know if this is a thing that you've experienced as well, because I think you and I are very similar in that we are highly independent. We're both like hyper independent people. We take a lot of pride in doing a lot with our days, doing a lot for ourselves, the people around us, our households, things like that.
Mhm.
And I think that being able to eat something that I've baked, it reminds me that I am a fully capable adult
Mm.
who can bake things that look nice and they taste nice. And it serves as a way to almost make me feel empowered, I think.
Mhm.
It is an empowering thing to be like, "Oh, I did this. I made
Uh-huh.
this, and now I can taste this, and I can" if it's, like a chocolate cupcake, for instance, like, I can taste the slight bitterness in from the cocoa powder, and I can revel in the fact that the leavening agents did what I intended them to do because it's airy, and it's got those little bubbles on the inside, and the icing is just sweet enough for my own personal preferences. And like, I don't know, there is I think that the very hyper independent part of me is also very pleased by
Mm, mhm, mhm.
I don't know,
So
do you get the same feeling like whenever you bake? Like is it like do you feel this like this sense of almost empowerment, I guess?
yeah, yeah, for sure. That, it, like, proves to myself that, like, "Hey, I'm a competent person. I can do shit."
Mhm. No, and it's like that's the thing is like that it's true regardless of whether or not you bake. I mean, even if you're not thinking it in this moment, I'll think it for you. You are an extremely competent and amazing human being. And so it's like that fact remains true regardless of whether or not you bake. But it's almost like it's almost like having a physical representation of your time, your talents, your preferences, and it's all rolled up into this wonderful little sugary whatever it is. So
So I'm curious, expand on, okay, you've baked your cupcake, and that's
Mhm.
cupcake that you are going to enjoy. Walk
Yes.
me through how you enjoy your cupcake.
Oh, okay. So, I'm very much pulling a leaf from one of our mindful eating chapters that we worked so hard on at our last company, just the psychology of mindful eating and how important it is. So, I think while I would be tempted to put on my favorite show and watch something while I enjoyed this cupcake, I think it's more important to stay the course of keeping things slow, toning down a lot of the other sensory things. Like, I feel like I get so much sensory input into my brain all day, every day, most of the time. So for this, I'm gonna keep the TV off. I might have some like soft cafe jazz music in the background. And I would sit up at the kitchen island and I would be very purposeful in having a plate. And also for this particular cupcake, I almost never, unless I'm baking cupcakes for like a party or something, I don't use cupcake liners, but for
Mhm.
this particular cupcake, I wanna be able to peel off the little cupcake wrapper because it feels extra special.
Uh-huh.
Um, and, yeah, like I said, have the cupcake on a plate, have a nice cup of some kind of milky tea, and peel off the cupcake wrapper, and I would wanna be kind of indulgent. I know that there are some people out there who, when they eat their cupcakes, they tear off the bottom of the cupcake and they smush it onto the top like a gob. Um, I don't have you ever
Heard of that. Wait, wait, like, what do they do?
yeah, they take the little cupcake butt and they
Okay.
tear it off and then they smoosh it on top of the icing, and so it becomes like a little sandwich.
Oh, I see, I see.
Mhm, and it's
Okay,
easier to
never
eat
heard of that, but okay.
because the icing doesn't get all over your face, but here's the thing, I am being indulgent with this. I feel like indulgence is part of the comfort. And so I want the frosting on my face,
Uh-huh.
and I would want the frosting to be really nicely decorated, like maybe in some kind of a flower shape or something.
Mhm.
And yeah, I would just bite into it and take a second and close my eyes and enjoy all the flavors of that very first bite. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think that's what I would like to do. Um,
I love it.
Thanks.
That's more or less what I do too. Like, I
Really.
definitely will not be watching, like, some TV show or maybe, like, light music, some lo-fi music, uh,
Mhm.
but definitely, like, played it I treat it like a kind of like our tea party episode, you know?
Yes. Mhm.
You're really treating yourself.
Mhm.
Um,
Exactly. Now, what would yours be? So if mine is a cupcake, would yours also be a cupcake, or would you have a different baked good in mind for your comfort bake?
um,
Because you mentioned
well,
cookies before, but
yes. I think cookies are, like, the easiest like, I think for me, like, that I really need to adopt more of your mindset of treating the journey as
Mhm.
the part of the experience. Because in my head, like, the journey is an obstacle. Like,
Interesting. What about
uh,
the journey is an obstacle?
it just feels like work, and it
Mm.
feels like it's not that I don't enjoy baking and cooking, but, like, it feels like work that I don't extra work that I don't need to do because it's doing it just for myself, you know?
I see. Yeah, like, it's the part of the journey that feels more like grunt work, and this isn't the part that you're here for, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here for sitting down at, like, a nicely placed setting with, embroidered napkins and
Mm.
very clean chinaware with tea and yeah, so that's where I'm gonna get the most joy out of, and I'm willing to do that for myself, but
Mhm.
getting there, I have to get over that hump of, like, "Oh god, I have to measure this out. I have to," like, just, like, mixing things is, like, let's get to the part where I'm treating myself. Like
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, whatever baked good you have before you, if you were to purchase it from a grocery store or if somebody else were to make it for you, would it be
Mhm.
just as comforting, or do you think that you would get some comfort at all from the process of baking it? Like, would it be the same comforting experience?
Interesting. That's a great question. I would get at least 80% of the enjoyment if someone bought it for me
Mhm.
and I sat down and treated myself.
Yeah.
It's a treat for me. So, yeah, I think that's the split. Like, the added benefit of me having made it myself, it's like a 20% value add to it.
Gotcha, interesting. Well, and it's kind of nice too, because if somebody takes the time to bake something for you rather than you always baking for other people, like that, I think that also adds a level of feeling cared for, which then adds to the comfort.
Mhm.
To be loved is to be seen. And so for somebody to go out, buy your favorite baked good, whatever that might be, and then be like, hey, here's this for you, eat it at your leisure, we can eat it together, whatever. Like, I definitely can understand that, how that would bring comfort as well. So
Yeah, it's so interesting you were talking about this chocolate cupcake, and I was
Mhm,
envisioning this one that I really enjoy by Kara's Cupcake,
mhm.
and so I may just go down the valley today and
And
buy myself one and see if I buy it, I'm gonna have just almost just as much enjoyment out of this if I make it myself. And so the other
Mhm,
thing is, when I think of baking for myself, like, I'm not baking 1 cupcake,
mhm.
the recipe isn't for 1 cupcake.
It
Uh,
never is, it never is.
and so I usually end up with a dozen cupcakes.
Mhm.
What do you do when you comfort bake and you're baking for yourself?
Mhm.
Are you gonna be eating all those 12 cupcakes yourself?
See, this is why freezer space is important. This is why I need to have a big old deep freezer in a garage somewhere. And that's the nice thing about the bake is like you can bake primarily for yourself and then be like, "Oh, I have the rest of these left over. I can save them for myself." And that is completely within my right to do that. Or I could share it with other people and they could get the same amount of comfort that I just received from myself. Honestly, I think you could, it's, dealer's choice. Whatever you want to do with them, you do that with them.
Or
Sometimes if you
good.
already have a lot like left over,
Mhm.
give them away if you don't have the freezer space. But it's important to do it primarily for yourself, I think.
Mm. But what do you typically do with the leftovers?
I give them to people. I will give them because I don't have the freezer space at this current juncture in time to
Mhm.
be stowing away an extra 10 cupcakes out of my little cupcake tray.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Mhm.
usually they will end up in the hands of our neighbors or friends. What about for you? Like, have you ever baked something just for yourself or you tried something new? Does it go to friends and family? Does it go into your freezer and you save the rest for yourself for later? Like, I feel like I know the answer to this, but I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, okay, so most of the time it does go to friends and family,
Mhm.
'cause there's no way I'm gonna be finishing, a whole cake or,
Mhm. Not
a
before it
dozen.
gets freezer burn.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think I still have some cake in the freezer. Oh god.
No,
Um,
yeah, that makes sense.
but, it's interesting, this, brownie recipe you gave me, I ate the whole thing over time,
Yay!
but that whole thing is inside my body.
Yay! And I guess it depends on what you're baking, right? Because, like you said, if it's a whole cake, chances are you're probably not going to finish it in time before it goes bad. If it's a bunch of cupcakes, it's very hard to finish a dozen cupcakes in such a short amount of time just by yourself. I think that's hard. Like I don't like even if I had just one a day, that I would get sick of it, I think.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, that makes sense. But the brownies, that particular brownie recipe, I think is a pretty decent amount. Like a person could finish that within a week or something. So
Mhm.
I think that with that portion size, that is a very reasonable expectation.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Mhm.
did really enjoy it. Thank you for sharing it.
Of course. I'm so glad you liked it. It's definitely a really good recipe. And if I can find a way, I will see if I can add it to the comments in this episode so that if anybody else wants to try it, they can. So
Yes.
yeah, hey, I'm so glad we got to talk about our comfort bakes today, and we got to get a little philosophical with our processes and our journeys and our destinations.
I hope it was opened your mind on different perspectives on comfort baking, because it certainly opened my mind.
Yeah, mine too. And I think that what we can take away from it is that however you want to enjoy a comfort bake, whether it's making it yourself, whether it's going to get something that you really enjoy, it's all valid. And I hope that the next time you need a comfort bake, that it does the job and it helps you realize that you are worth very good things. So that's what we learned today. Awesome. But I'm so glad to talk with you again today, CJ. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And if you have any comfort bakes that you want to talk about in the chat, put them in the comments.
Yeah, yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, please. And we will see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye. That's it for this episode of Cozy Kitchen.
We're so glad you stopped by. We can't wait till the next time you join us by the fire. See you later.